They weren't elected to represent a bunch of developers. They weren't elected to represent a bunch of big money. They're supposed to be here representing the people of St Kilda, the people of the city of Port Phillip. Let's hear it. Represent us. Represent us. Represent us. Represent us. Represent us. Represent us. Represent us.
My job on this film is to underpin a lot of the drama and also the underlying emotion of these people that are so passionate about what's happening to their local community. I use a lot of sample just to give directors and producers an idea of how it's going to sound. Rosie would come in and have a listen to those ideas as soon as they were ready. We had about 10 or 12 days to turn over 50 odd minutes of music, so it wasn't a lot of time to be able to sort of think too long about things, and perhaps that was good for the film in the end because we were going off instinct in a lot of ways. And so she would come through, she would listen to the mock-ups that I would do on my system, and then I'd do my revisions, and we'd get to the final stage of recording, which is the best bit because musicians come in and they add so much colour, so much emotion that I can never get from just playing the melodies in with my instruments that are mocked up. There was a real demand that we needed orchestral sounding music, but of course there was no money for it. So that's always an interesting one to try and juggle, using some live instruments and some samples. The biggest challenge with this film was to come up with the main themes for certain key parts of the film or certain key characters, because the film was character driven so much. We had everything from punk rock, Eastern European waltzes, to, the larger orchestral carousel sort of pieces that worked with the circus nature of the machinations of council.
It's kind of a larger-than-life story, and I think the carnivalesque images and the kind of carnivalesque tone of the music, I wanted those to really pick up on the slightly crazy elements of the story. I guess it felt to me that there was a surface that presented to the world, which is the public face of democracy, the public face of bureaucracy, but underneath that there were all these undercurrents.